India is a federation of states. After becoming independent, as regional and linguistic movements gathered momentum, the country's states were reorganized and their boundaries redrawn. While these boundaries have held by and large, and some states subdivided further over time into newer, smaller states, a few disputes have lingered. On occasion, these disputes have taken a violent turn. What happened on the 26th of July involved a clash near Kachar district between the police forces of two states over a disputed boundary, Assam and Mizoram. 6 Assam policemen were killed after tensions had been building the whole month.
We are reporting from the Assam-Mizoram border where ugly clashes unfolded just 2 days ago. Now this is the point, this is the under construction road upon which tension has been simmering for weeks, which finally escalated into a gruesome gunfight between the Assam and Mizoram police here in this particular location. Just a few meters away was where the first firing had taken place. That on your screen is the last border outpost of Assam personnel, and on the other side you can see the Mizoram outpost of Mizoram police, and this is where the entire road construction has been completely stopped, and this is where the Assam police are on heavy has been heavily deployed and is on high alert and on standby. This is the last post between Assam and Mizoram, and this is where the clashes had unfolded just 2 days ago, which left 5 police personnel martyred from Assam and 1 civilian dead. But of course, now there has been no fresh incident that has been reported. Tension still remains in the bordering villages. Of course, Assam police on high alert. On one hand, you can see the Assam police border outpost, the last post before one goes into Mizoram, and right behind that border outpost is the Mizoram police. And of course, we will not be able to stay here longer because of the kind of situation that has unfolded just 2 days ago. Tension still simmering. Of course, CRPF has been deployed in this area as well, and Assam police on tight vigil.
As of now, the situation is tense. Though it is under control, but it is tense. The border is currently as per the directions of MHA manned by CRPF. But Assam police has withdrawn as per the directions of MHA. But Mizoram side, the police is still out there at the border. So that actually made the situation tense. People should remain calm. They should cooperate with police. They should cooperate with the government of Assam. And they should abide by the directions and the advisories given by the government of Assam.
There was an ugly blame game between the governments of Assam and Mizoram, with the chief ministers Himanta Biswa Sarma of Assam and Zoram Thanga of Mizoram accusing the other side of overreach and encroachment. They belong to the BJP and the Mizo National Front respectively, constituents of the National Democratic Alliance.
इंक्वायरी साथ है तो इंक्वायरी करना सही है, लेकिन असम का जितना जमीन आज तक दूसरा स्टेट में गया है वो कांग्रेस का दिन में ही गया है.
कितना डेथ हुआ है अभी तक
से?
On Monday, Assam police, more than 200 in number, together with DGP and Kachar DC district magistrate, and they suddenly encroach and cross the border and overrun the CRPF camp on Mizoram side.
The very fact that the boundary dispute has overwhelmed any attempts at reaching an understanding between alliance partners, despite the formation of the Northeast Democratic Alliance, of which Sarma has been convener, underlines the seriousness of the situation. On the 24th of July, Home Minister Amit Shah met all the chief ministers and senior bureaucrats of the northeastern states and mentioned, among other things, how, since the NDA government came to power, several pressing issues in the region had been resolved. These included the border dispute with Bangladesh, the peace pact with the National Liberation Front of Tripura, resolution of problems of Bru refugees in Tripura and Mizoram, and the Bodo Peace Accords. At the meeting, Home Minister Amit Shah also requested the chief ministers to resolve border disputes of states in the region and I quote, expeditiously in a cordial atmosphere by mutual consultation, stop quote. Despite this, 2 days later, the standoff between Assam and Mizoram escalated into firing from both sides. In October 2020, there were clashes between Assamese and Mizo villagers on the boundary following accusations of encroachment. In early July, there was a suspected IED blast in the Kachar district of Assam, again in relation to the boundary dispute, followed by 2 more explosions in the area, though there were no casualties. In the aftermath of the 26 July firing, senior bureaucrats and police officials from the 2 states were summoned, and it was decided that a neutral central paramilitary force, the Central Armed Police Force, would be deployed along the sensitive areas on the Assam-Mizoram boundary. But there are hardly any signs that tensions have eased, with the government of Assam issuing a travel advisory to its residents in relation to travelling to Mizoram and urged Assamese working in Mizoram to be cautious.
We have with us Assam Cabinet Minister Ashok Singhal. Assam government issued a travel advisory asking and in fact warning the people of Assam not to travel to Mizoram and people residing in Mizoram from Assam to maintain utmost precaution. So under what circumstances government of Assam has to issue this advisory and what are the details of this advisory?
See, the incident on 26th wherein 6 Assam police personnel were killed. After that also there were provocative statements coming from Mizo Civil Society, Students Union and other organization from the state of Mizoram. And we have video footages available wherein civil society, civilians are armed with, they have weapons in their hand. And in view of this, provocative statements coming from the different organizations, civil societies, student organization, and video footage having civilians with arms. So we have advised our people not to travel. And those who are residing there in Mizoram should take utter caution in managing the things.
Well, this move, this advisory from Assam government has evoked strong reactions from the opposition. They are stating that this is probably for the first time that in independent India, a state has issued a travel advisory for its people not to travel to another state in India. It usually happens when there are international border tension.
This is a peculiar problem. The problem is, you must understand that 6 of our personnel has been killed by the Mizo police and the civilians who were armed. So how can you trust that a police which has killed the police of a sister states using LMG? How can you trust them anymore? So until unless that trust is built up, it is an advisory that this is the situation. Now tomorrow if something happens, who will be held responsible? If people from Assam travel there and they get into problem, we have to face the consequences. So this is an advisory.
Well, the opposition parties are also seeking the intervention of the central government, in fact, Union Home Ministry in this regard. What do you have to say on this?
No, the Home Ministry has already intervened. They have deployed the central forces, the neutral forces, and the post which we were holding, they have asked us to hand it over to CRPF. We have already handed it over to the CRPF, but the counterpart Mizoram government, they have not handed over it to the neutral forces. They are still holding on that post. So I think it is for the Mizoram government to vacate that post and hand it over to the central force in due course. Whatever is decided should be acceptable to both the governments.
We are outside Dholai police station here in Assam, and we will just get in a word with Ms. Sushmita Dev. Ma'am, if you could just tell us, what did the police tell you all when you all were en route to the Assam-Mizoram border?
See, yesterday CM was here. Ministers of the Assam government, they went right till a certain point. So we had requested the administration to let us go to Lailapur Bazaar, which is few kilometers away from the border. The reason for it is not to create any disturbance, just to meet people there who are scared. So CM Assam says people of Assam should be united. So we have come to show solidarity and unity. So why not let us go? We are 5 kilometers away from the border and they stopped us here. But we do not want to go into any fight with Assam police because they made a huge sacrifice for the state of Assam. But I wish the administration had allowed us to meet the people there.
Ma'am, will you all be sitting on a protest here? What is the next action plan since you all are not being allowed to go?
See, who do we protest against? This is a question of solidarity of Assam. Who to protest against? People have died. We've just come to show our solidarity to the people who are under fear, living in fear, near to the border. We are not going to the border. We are going near the border.
So there you heard Congress leader Sushmita Dev saying that they were not allowed to go towards the border. 5 kilometers before that they were stopped. These are the visuals now from outside Dholai police station here in Assam, where the entire Congress delegation has been blocked and they're not being allowed to go any further, keeping in mind the kind of tension that, of course, the border area saw just 2 days ago, and the situation still remains tense. Over here, of course, the Congress delegation saying that they will not attempt to go any further, keeping in mind the huge sacrifice that the Assam police has made at the border, and they will be keeping put here in this particular place till a time being, and then they will probably retrieve.
The situation at Lelapur in Kachar district of Assam remains tense and volatile after violent clashes broke out between Assam and Mizoram forces. Indiscriminate firing took place in which 6 Assam police personnel lost their lives while 80 others got injured. The injured have been rushed to Silchar Medical College and Hospital for treatment. In fact, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma arrived Silchar today and paid homage to the 6 Assam police personnel who laid their lives while guarding the sovereignty of Assam's land.
But when did the problem begin? A lot of the boundary disputes in the northeast emanate from the carving out of several states from the larger administrative entity that was Assam. But that wasn't all. The northeast was once primarily 3 states, that of Assam, Manipur and Tripura, and also included the Northeast Frontier Agency, which is today Arunachal Pradesh. The region shared borders with China, Myanmar and Bangladesh. 3 states, Mizoram, Meghalaya and Nagaland, were carved out of Assam, and they received statehood in 1987, 1972 and 1963 respectively. And each has had a boundary dispute with the current state of Assam. With respect to Mizoram, which was previously called Lushai Hills, the dispute can be traced to 2 British-era notifications issued in 1875, which demarcated Lushai Hills from Kachar district in Assam, and in 1933, which drew a boundary between Lushai Hills and Manipur. Mizoram insists that the 1875 demarcation be followed, while Assam insists on the one in 1933.
North and South, they will think that we are fighting. It is a legitimate demand that they are encroaching on our land. And it is not from today that they are encroaching it since last 30, 40 years. Now our Chief Minister said, whatever has happened. Let us demarcate some boundary. They don't want to demarcate it. Now do you think that we should allow them keep on encroaching upon our land? There has to be end to everything. We have called it a day. Let them settle it.
We have to understand that the whole concept of nation building, country, means different things to different people in the Northeast, especially among the tribes. When the tribes refer to the word country, they mean their portion of the land, So then when the British came in 1826, after 1826, they started penetrating the whole region. And they were somehow able to bring the whole region under some kind of a collective governance system. They also, demarcated certain areas which they think might be open to incursions from the plains, and they called them the areas within the inner line permit or beyond the inner line permit. They brought in what is called as the Eastern Bengal Frontier Regulation Act in 1873. So states of the present state of Mizoram, the present state of Arunachal Pradesh, the present state of Nagaland were all beyond the inner line permit that did not allow others to penetrate these areas. The British, they were largely exploitative, and they did this to safeguard their own economic interests, because these were also areas where tea was grown, and then there was timber, then other products to exploit. After independence, so some changes happened, but these boundaries were never really, secured or drawn in a way that would identify. If you're saying at that time, when we got our independence, there was just one big state of Assam, and of course Tripura and Manipur were kingdoms, so then they became union territories. The others were all part of Assam, and subsequently they were granted statehood. At the time of state creation, these boundaries were never really demarcated. They were left like that. They were left very vague and ambiguous, and they continue to this day. So these are the reasons for the conflict, because states are all they have their population existing, plus there's a lot of floating population. So every state is trying to conserve its own boundaries, its own part of the land that it claims to be its ancestral land handed over to them by their chieftains. And there's this thinking that the chieftains could not have been wrong.
But that's not all. Assam has a boundary dispute with several other states in the northeast, but as do other states between them, Manipur and Nagaland, for instance. What happened on the Assam-Mizoram border on the 26th of July makes it that much more imperative now that lingering disputes over boundaries separating states in the northeast ought to be addressed with urgency. How does one proceed with this is something that the central and state governments need to decide. But with much of the northeastern states governed by NDA constituents, one would assume that cooperation and consensus building should be a smoother exercise.
There needs to be a probe into this whole issue, how it started off, why it started off, when the dialogue about borders was just being discussed, was just being held in Shillong. What triggered this sudden conflict? Who is behind it? Are there agent provocateurs? Who is trying to dislodge the Northeast Democratic Alliance? So all these things, otherwise it will be just he said this and he said that. Everybody is defending their territory, but we don't really know the truth. We also have to accept the fact that there is a lot of weaponry floating around, in the region. We've had insurgencies in the past. They have come down. They have really come down now, but nobody is taking stock of the weapons. Where are the weapons? Who's holding them? In whose custody are they? Because the firing is not just one-sided. I think that there was a lot of retaliation from both sides. So was all that retaliation from the police only, or were there other actors with weapons? These are things that need to be probed.
The integration of northeastern states with the rest of the country by road, railway, improved connectivity and better infrastructure has been a professed commitment on the part of many governments. The region has witnessed and continues to in a smaller degree today violence led by separatists. Stability is key, and so is development, and escalations and tragedy of the kind witnessed on the 26th of July do not help the cause.
Can think clearly, if we can think carefully, if we can have visionary ideas, we need to turn these into progressive and peaceful zones. You can't continue to have these antagonistic positions where one state, which is the common link, then exerts its authority by imposing economic blockades on the neighbors. We can't have this for too long. We need each other. We are a region. And we are so landlocked. So we cannot be fighting each other. I think we need to assist each other And I wish we had politicians who, instead of grandstanding, and saying we'll put so many thousands of combatants, of commandos in the border, that money can be spent in something more productive, something more progressive, like starting these economic hubs, as I said earlier. And yes, the reason why I'm saying that it should be administered by somebody like the Ministry of the Development of the Northeast, because that will hopefully be a kind of an overseer, and a body that oversees everything, and will not be prejudiced about which state it helps more and which state it helps less. Everything will be focused on the development of the border areas.